Hello everyone, welcome back to Scylla's Podcast, or welcome to Scylla's Podcast, and welcome to Scylla, who realized that her first file on this camera was actually corrupted. Oops, so I should do this so you have a context for the clips that are to follow. So, since today is a Sunday, today for me, it's not going to be Sunday when you see this video because I'm probably going to update it on Monday, but you know, that's a different thing. You know, we're going to do a future thing yet again. Since it's a Sunday and I didn't really have anything else to do, I decided to sit down and vlog myself trying to get to some of the books on my May TBR that have been there and marinated there for a while. So what you're about to see is Scylla trying to keep up with the plans that she made previously, and then didn't follow through on because I am fantastic at making plans and then not doing them. Because, you know, I've already made the plan. So we're done here. Alas, not how it works, unfortunately. So, in this vlog, you're going to see me attempt to read, I do believe it's 12 manga volumes. Some of them are from my friend, like the 3 volumes of The Summer Hikaru Died, the 3 volumes of, God, what's it called again? Well, you'll find out once I reach that part. Sharon 78, Volume 3, Boys Run the Riot, Volume 1, and 4, I can count, 4 library volumes, which include Lonely Castle in the Mirror, Volume 1, and Volumes 1, 2, 3, which are actually the only volumes that exist in this series, because it is actually a trilogy, which, it's fine, trilogy, which does not happen very often with manga series, to be quite honest, called Ghostly Things. I'm also attempting to read some stuff off my physical TBR that is not manga, which is mostly Moonward Spider King by Marlon James, the second book in the Dark Star trilogy, which I love the first one, Black Leopard, Red Wolf. So far I'm loving Moonward Spider King, however, the brain power it requires me to use is too much. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I am doing my reread, I think 4th time around, of This Is How We Lose the Time War by Amal Al-Motar and Max Gladstone, one of my favorite books of all time. Not a spoiler, it's just a fact. It is my personality at this point. And I'm also trying to get ahead in the Tingle Anthology, which is an anthology of lesbian penai writing, aka lesbian writers and lesbian writing from the Philippines. So, to see what happens with this incredibly chaotic TBR that has been there for a while, just for context, I have owned Tingle, for example, since 2022. July 2022. So if I finish it before July, at the very least, I'll not have taken 2 years to get to it. Just almost 2 years, but you know, it's fine. So without further ado, enjoy all of the other clips with far more lighting because it won't be almost 10 a.m., 10 p.m. in the evening. And here we go. Roll past Scylla's clips where she was very clearly more awake and probably also more articulate than I currently am. Okay, we're in the kitchen right now. I had some breakfast. I had tea. Well, breakfast. It is 2 p.m. right now. It's fine. It's been a little bit less than 2 hours. I think it's been like 1.5 maybe. And I finished all the 4 volumes that I have from the library. So I first read, I'll just hold up one of those. I first read Ghostly Things, volumes 1, 2, 3. Yes, it is a finished story and it's really, really sweet. Like I said in the beginning, it's about Yachiho, who is living in a house and apparently it's supposed to be haunted, and she finds out, yeah, it is, but it's not necessarily ghosts as we probably know them in like Western literature. It is nature ghosts, as the series calls it, and she starts helping someone who is tasked to send nature ghosts back into the realm of the dead, as it is proclaimed in this series, whenever their bodies, their vessels, as he calls them, give out. It's a really sweet story. It's just 3 volumes, so if you want to have something that looks really nice and has really pretty Look at that. Has really pretty drawings. I highly recommend Ghostly Things. It's really, really nice. It's really, really sweet. And like the covers are just so colorful. I love it. And then I also finished Lonely Castle in the Mirror Volume 1. Everything. The way the art is so incredibly descriptive when it comes to the emotions of the characters that they experience. Like, I'm gonna try to find an example while I keep talking about this. But it is basically about our main character, Kokoro, who is so extremely bullied in school that she now has experiences physical pain every time she's supposed to go back to school, and she really can't handle it right now, which, you know, is fair enough. And she at some point gets transported through her mirror into the castle together with 6 other boys and girls who also for some reason or another seem to be skipping school. And they're supposed to be finding, like I said, I think in the beginning, they're supposed to be finding a key which will open the way to the wish room. And once they are in that room, they can say a wish. And the castle is only open until March 30. I think the series right now at the end of book 1, volume 1, is, I think it's like summer, so like July-ish. And they haven't really started searching for real for this key. In fact, they've only started to getting to know each other, which I think is really sweet. Like, look at this. It's really sweet. So I will definitely be continuing on with the series. I'm gonna see if my library has the other volumes. But for now, I would call this a success. I'm gonna take a break from manga now probably and get back into reading books, and I'm probably gonna keep on going with This Is How You Lose the Time War because I have, I think, 5 hours left before the live show and I kind of want to have it finished until then, so I will see you with the next update. If you recognize the backdrop again, I have not moved this entire time. I'm done with my reread, so that's great, fantastic. I am prepared for this evening's show. It makes me cry every single time. Look at all these tabs though. This is my first time rereading it while actually adding tabs to it. This is one of the three, you know, books I have of this one. It's the only paperback I have, so I decided to annotate it, as you can see, like a little bit here. A 10 out of 10. Am I surprised? No, this book has been a 5-star every single time I picked it up. So, you know, if you want to know what I personally feel like love is made out of, you should read this book, because this is the definition of love for me. Thank you for listening. I don't really know what to say about this book without spoiling like everything, but it is so good. It is so good. I do understand that this book is definitely not everyone's cup of tea, which I personally think is fine. You know, not every single book has to be loved by everyone, but I know who the people are that love this book. And I trust them with book recommendations because they understand what I want. So if you are one of those people who absolutely adore this book, just, you know that I will probably trust your book recommendations over just about anyone else. So there you have it. Go read this book if you haven't yet. I'm gonna go back to, you know, this situation. I have collected all the manga. I'm not sure if I can read all of them today, to be quite honest. I don't know if I want to. I do want to read Sharon 78 and Boys Run the Riot, because they're the only like singular volumes I possess of a series here right now. And that way I have at least 2 manga I can give back to my friend. I don't know about the other 6, 3. But yeah, I do wanna finish these 2 at the very least before anything else happens. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna update you after that real quick, and then I might take a break. So I'll see you then. Short time, no scene. I think it's been about, definitely less than an hour. And we have finished, hold on, I need to count, books 6 and 7 for today. Yay! So, first of all, I don't know if I can talk much about Sharon 78 because it's the third volume in a series and I don't want to spoil anything, but I do definitely recommend this for people who want fantasy with a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of creepy, a little bit of really, really cool things. I mean, I'm just gonna show you the design of one person at some point. Like, thank you. Okay, so if you're into that, I highly recommend Sharon 78 for you. There's not much going on like story-wise, which I personally really like because I'm a fan of things that don't, like, they do have a story because Sharon 78 does have a story to a certain degree, but the story is definitely not the focal point. And you do have like smaller instances where things happen in between, and that I think is really nice. So if that sounds interesting to you, I recommend this series if you can read the title. It's a bit shiny, there we go. Okay, and definitely not last, probably for today, I also finished Boys Run the Riot Volume 1. I didn't know anything about this going into it because I did not read the back of it, which gives a surprising amount of information, so I would have known something, but hey, who does that? Who reads summaries, am I right? Not me, not this bitch. This bitch don't do that. So Boys Run the Riot is a slice of life, I would say like probably young adult manga series, and we follow Ryo, this wonderful lovely guy right here, who is a trans boy. And he's struggling a lot with, you know, not really fitting in because everyone just sees him as a girl who likes tomboyish clothes and appearance and everything, and who feels more confident and comfortable hanging out with other boys. The whole thing, the whole deal, but one day he meets this wonderful, lovely guy over here. You can just see the back of him. His name is Jin. And Jin is very confident in his entire appearance, and he's the type of person to basically just go, yeah, well, I mean, if someone wants me to put into a box, I guess I'll just kick the box down. Fuck it. And he wants to become friends with Ryo. They essentially become friends almost immediately. And he has a dream, and that dream is to make clothings and just have his own brand, his own label, essentially. And he kind of manages to convince Ryo to be a part of that, I suppose. We've now also, in the first volume, experienced why it's called Boys Run the Riot. I personally think that's really nice. I love it when a series is like, hey, by the way, this is why we're called the way that we are. I think that's really cute. I think that's really nice. Even though I am not the super biggest fan of slice of life, it's just not necessarily my cup of tea most of the time. I like me some fantasy in between to break things up. I think this series so far has had a wonderful start, and honestly, I'm probably gonna keep on reading. My friend might get the other volumes, and I will just borrow them from her, because that's what I do. Honestly, if you are into manga, this is a pro tip. If you have a friend who lives somewhat nearby and who also collects them in physical editions, befriend them even harder and then borrow their volumes, because otherwise you're going to be broke. So that way, one of you buys one type of volumes and the other one the others, and then you're good to go. Make sure your friend knows that you still love them though, even without the whole borrowing system, okay? That's kind of important. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make myself something to eat. Again, like something small, like a little snack. Maybe some cheese. Pretty sure we have cheese. And I don't know what I will continue with next. I might continue with some of the short stories in the anthology of lesbian P9 writing, because I did say I wanted to finish that, and it is already on my, like, currently reading, not on my TBR, so, you know, maybe that might feel kind of good to reduce the TBR to, I think, 6 at that point, at some point. So maybe I'll go for that first, and then read some more manga in between, because now I basically just have the 3 volumes of Lullaby of the Dawn, and the summer when Hikaru died I think that's the only ones I've left, pretty sure. So I want to try and finish one of those. It's not a trilogy because there's more volumes for both, I checked, but one of those 3-volume series so far. So I think I want to finish one of those. I might go for Hikaru because it really, really interests me. I don't know anything about the other one, so anyone's guess how that one's gonna go. But yeah, I will see you whenever I have decided what I'm going to be reading next and made some progress in there. Okay, so hello, welcome back. Everything is great, everything is fine. I've had a little bit of a snack. I've made more tea because what else? So good. And I have read the first 23% of Tingle now. I stopped at, I think, the first part of, I don't think there's 3 or 4 maybe, that the anthology follows. It's called How It Begins. I've had a fantastic time with it so far. I think it's great and everyone should check it out. Don't worry, I will be talking about it a little bit more in June, and once I'm also a bit further along into it. And I have read... Ugh, come here. I've read The Summer Hikaru Died, well, the 3 volumes that I had from my friend. So she was right. Loved it. So, I mean, first of all, the idea of the story is already very intriguing. You know, your friend dies and then comes back wrong, and you seem to be the only one who's noticed. What I really enjoyed about the story, though, is that that is not like the big mystery or something, because a lot of stories that have a similar concept like these love to, you know, have everything revolve around the mystery. For example, you get to know the people before one of them goes missing, and then you see him come back, and then you're like, wait, hold on a second, something is off here. And the entire book or series, if it's a manga series for example, tries to revolve around the fact that whoever was left behind is now trying to find out what exactly it is that strikes them as so odd when it comes to their friend. But The Summer Hikaru Died essentially starts, more or less, first of all, with the wrong Hikaru, but second of all, with Yoshido already knowing, with Yoshiki already knowing what's happened. Or not necessarily what's happened, but knowing that this is not Hikaru. Whoever he's talking to right now is not his childhood friend whom he's known all these years. And I found that such an interesting narrative choice because, again, it like completely changes the entire idea of what the story is going to revolve around, because it's not so much the fact that Yoshiki has to find out what happened to his friend, it's about how Yoshiki is now going to deal with the fact that there is an immortal monster living in what resembles the body of his best friend, whom he also definitely has a lot of homosexual energies with. Let's just say it like that. But another thing I find really cool about the series is that it kind of like, it experiments a lot with styles, specifically in how to say it, and how to show, for example, speech bubbles and everything. I'm gonna try and see if I can find something here, because I think there was one that I really, really enjoyed. Let me try and find that. Here we go. So you can't read it, probably most of you can't because I'm reading it in German, but it's right here, it's this one. And what a lot of these speech bubbles are saying is something like, you know, he's dead, the Hikaru on this picture is no more, I am alone, how can this hurt me, or how can this, you know, do anything to me, you know, he's not here anymore, what the hell. But the way that the speech bubbles are drawn is through hands that are holding on to Yoshiki and that are dragging him down, essentially, which is such a cool way of showing how much these thoughts actually weigh on him, right? Like physically weigh on him. He doesn't know how to move with these incredibly horrific thoughts inside his brain that he's all alone with, because he's pretty sure that he can tell absolutely no one about this, because who is going to believe him, right? Because, you know, Hikaru's there, Hikaru's fine, except he isn't. And he's not there because it's something else that is living inside his body that is not human. Like, that's very important here. And this is something that happens throughout the entire series, and I'm a big, big fan of that, because I think specifically visual media like manga, comics, graphic novels, etc., they live of their creators being so incredibly creative with the like medium that they've chosen, right? Because anything can tell a story, but there is something unique that a visual medium can do, and there's also something incredibly unique that a written medium can do. And I love seeing specific medias go for the thing, or like, you know, enhance the thing that they are going to be good at inherently, just based on what medium the author chose to represent their story with. And I think this is done fantastically in this one. So I'm 100% continuing on with this series whenever the next volume comes out. I do believe there's also supposed to be an anime for this in 2025, I think. So I'm definitely watching that. Really hope that they get to stick to some of the super intense visuals that we already have in the manga. And yeah, this is bringing me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 manga volumes I've read today, 1 book I finished, and 1 I have, you know, read almost a quarter of. So I personally would say that that is a successful day. I might continue on with the last manga series I have for today, Lullaby of the Dawn, because I'm in a manga mood right now. Probably also because it makes you feel very accomplished to know that you've read so much. So I'm probably gonna go for that. It is, ooh, it's almost 7 p.m. actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna continue on with the manga, and I don't know if I'm gonna be done before 7, which is when Steph's book club meets, and I do want to be part of that. So I'm just gonna read manga until that happens, I guess. And then the book club meeting is gonna be there. I'm gonna make myself some dinner. And we're probably gonna just continue reading. I really want to finish Lullaby of the Dawn today now, just to have everything done with, because that would make me feel great. Is it a coincidence that the 1 book I haven't picked up yet is Moonward Spider King? Probably not. I'm trying to preserve my brain cells. Remember when I said that that's the 1 book I do want to finish this month? I am impeccably planned, if I do say so myself. All right, I'm gonna start with Lullaby of the Dawn now, and depending on how much time I need for it, I'm gonna update you before the live show on whether or not I finished it, like the 3 volumes I currently have, or I'll just update you when the live show's done and how much progress that has brought me. So I hope that you're currently also enjoying the book that you're reading. Together, I believe in us, and we can complete our reading plans. If you do reading plans. Honestly, who does reading plans in this day and age? I do, and then I don't stick to them. Anyway, I'll see you in the next clip. We are back. It's been a little bit for me, not that long for you guys, because I did not manage to finish 3 more manga volumes in 40 minutes? Okay, I'm not that good, especially because they're kind of thick. But I am now also done with the 3 volumes that I borrowed from my friend of Lullaby of the Dawn, and it was fantastic. Honestly, I think these 3 together with The Summer Hikaru Died were my favorites that I read, because I very much enjoyed Ghostly Things. I really enjoyed Lonely Castle in the Mirror, but it was only 1 volume, and you know, it felt like the story was only just beginning, which is fair enough for a first volume, but you know, this was really, really good. I'd never heard of this before, actually. So, you know, if anyone else has, please leave that in the comments down below, because oh my god, this was fantastic. So basically, we are on this island. I don't remember right now if there's ever a name for that island, but it's okay because those details don't matter. But we are on an island, and the island is threatened by the Dark Sea, as they call it, or you know, I'm assuming that's what they call it in English because I'm reading these in German, so I'm just translating things. But they are threatened by the Dark Sea, which comes out every night and tries to basically kill people or possess them. It's not entirely sure what they do. And the only ones who can resist them and actually fight back against them are the so-called Kanagi. And we obviously follow one of whom, his name is Alva. And the thing is, though, that while the Kanagi fight those demons, monsters, whatever you want to call them, from the Dark Sea, they get essentially corrupted and possessed, which shows in their hands, feet, and everything becoming darker and darker as time passes on. And then at some point it just goes over to their entire torso and then they die. So a lot of them are not destined to become that old, actually. And Elva starts living together with Alto, who is what we assume just a normal human being. But he has the very special ability of making those marks disappear, and he and Elva embark upon a relationship that is incredibly sweet and tender, and also very painful at times, because Elva has been brought up his entire life thinking that he's just a sacrifice and he's gonna die super, super young, and, you know, he has to listen to what the church says, because of course there's an evil church with nuns and everything, because of course there is. And he has just been brought up to never know peace, to never know anything nice, to never think that he deserves to have any kind of agency, but also just in general, like friendships, anything. And it was really, really good. So it's not done with these three. I did check. The third volume says that there is going to be at least one more. I don't know how many more there will be. And let me check real quick when the last one came out. If it says so here. Let's find out. Okay, so this came out in Japan in 2022. So the third volume that I have. And I don't know when it came out in German. Does it say so? 2023. Okay, so if there is another volume that has come out, I'll find out and check. I'll see if anyone knows whether or not the fourth one is the final one or not. So far, the story seems to be relatively tight, honestly, which I do like, and I kind of, like, as much as I want to spend approximately 20 volumes in this world because I think it's really nice and I love the characters, I kind of hope that it's done before we hit the second digit mark, because I'm always a little bit worried when specifically manga series become too long to the point where they keep dragging out their story and you're over here like, listen, I feel like we should have been done at this point, and the fact that we're not is making me very worried as to what's going to happen now, because I feel like everything has been said already and you're just dragging it out for the sake of it because you want to have a nice story, you want to sell more volumes. That's fine, that's perfectly fine, but it does need to fit the story vibes in my opinion. And we've had a lot happen in these 3 volumes. Like, it felt perfectly fine for like a pacing situation, but I feel like there's not that much material left for like an overabundance of volumes still. So I'm going to check on that. I'm going to see if I can find anything. I might pop that into the description or something. But yeah, this is this is manga volumes 10 to 12 that I've read today. So as you can see, I have now read and or started reading everything except for Moonwitch Spider King. It is now also currently 9:30 p.m. that is. So the likelihood of me starting Moonwitch Spider King while it is getting dark outside, as you can kind of see over there, slim to none, I'll tell you that much. So, you know, did this video fully serve its purpose? I'm not entirely sure, but at least I did something with my time today, so, you know, I'll take it. I will take it. I'm probably gonna try and read Moonwitch Spider King tomorrow. So you win some, you lose some. It's fine. Oh my god. This felt very good though, honestly. Like, just being able to just sit around and read a bunch of books. Fantastic. Were any of them of my own possession? No, except for a reread. But hey. Okay, and one that I have as an ebook, but I didn't finish it today, so, you know. I made progress though, which it's still a really good thing. Anyway, I hope that you guys also got some reading done. Maybe we actually buddy read something together to get us out of a reading slump. Maybe you just finished something off the side. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you have any reading plans for May? And if so, how are we currently looking? Do you think you're going to be able to finish them in May? I'm not entirely sure I will, but then again, my reading plans are usually also very loosely because I know I am a massive mood reading person. So at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that you had fun with whatever it is you actually chose to pick up. So there's that. But do let me know in the comments down below if you are the type of person to make plans, and if you are you the type of person to stick with them? Because as you just noticed, I am not. Which is probably like half of the fun of it. But anyway, I'm gonna go probably watch something now because I think my brain is overwhelmed from the words. So we're just gonna do visual medium now. And I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know in the comments down below what were your reading plans and are you achieving them? And have you read any of the manga that I talked about right now? Have you read anything of what I talked about right now? And if so, how did you like it? As always, I do hope that you have a nice reading experience yourself with everything that you did or did not plan on reading. I hope that you continue having a nice reading experience, and I will see you guys soon.